Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always watching and supporting the channel. What do you think the Thing versus Beast, a confrontation between strength and intelligence, who will win? The Thing, real name Ben Grimm, is a prominent member of the Fantastic Four. After being exposed to cosmic radiation, his body transformed into a solid rock form with superhuman strength. The Thing possesses the ability to lift thousands of tons, near-limitless endurance and physical durability enough to withstand powerful attacks from the Hulk or Thor. His resilient nature and extensive combat experience make him one of Marvel's most trusted heroes. Beast, or Hank McCoy, is a long-standing member of the X-Men. His evolved form brings a combination of superior physical strength, quick reflexes, and extraordinary flexibility. While not as explosive in power as the Thing, Beast possesses genius intelligence, mastery of genetics, technology, and tactics. He often uses his intelligence to overcome stronger enemies. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you very much. Ben Grimm, better known as The Thing, was a talented astronaut and test pilot for the United States Air Force. His life took a different turn when he accepted a flight led by his close friend Dr. Reed Richards. Along with Sue Storm and her younger brother Johnny Storm, Grimm set foot on the Marvel 1 ship to embark on a journey to reach new limits. However, the trip not only opened up endless space, but also brought unpredictable disasters. When the ship passed through a giant curtain of cosmic radiation, Grimm's body was forever transformed. His flesh turned into rough blocks of stone, giving him superhuman strength, but also binding him to an unusual appearance. Despite his tough appearance, Ben Grimm remains sincere and courageous. He was the embodiment of a kind heart surrounded by a giant stone armor, always ready to protect his teammates. Along with Richards, Sue, and Johnny, he became part of the Fantastic Four, a group of heroes who pioneered space exploration. What makes The Thing special is the contrast in his nature. His body instead a warrior with the appearance of a monster, but shining with deep human qualities. The Thing was once positioned as the most powerful hero on Earth. To defeat Grimm almost only existed as a potential entity. On one side is the Hulk, a giant with limitless rage, representing pure but uncontrolled power, always torn between humanity and destructive instinct. On the other side is Thor, a god from Asgard with power beyond human limits, holding the power of thunder and divine blood, not completely belonging to the mundane world. The Thing's position in the Marvel Universe. He is neither an immortal god nor a giant born of rage, but a very ordinary human. Although imperfect in appearance, can still stand on par with gods and monsters. That is what makes The Thing not only considered one of the strongest warriors, but also a hero closer to more human than anyone else who can compare to him. The Thing often faces powerful enemies, the most prominent of which is the Hulk. Each punch in the battles can shake the earth. In addition, in his own adventures, Grimm constantly encounters harsh challenges, when his enemies are often giant machines or hideous forces that are superior in strength. The Thing's strength still shows clear superiority. He can completely defeat Colossus or Luke Cage in a hand-to-hand fight. Even Namor has been overwhelmed by Grimm on several occasions, although Namor often uses his fighting skills to turn the tables. While the likes of Iron Man, Black Panther, and Spider-Man can use tactics, technology, and agility to fight back, they are no match for the massive physical strength that Grimm possesses. The Thing's position can be compared to Wonder Woman's, not because his strength is on par with hers, but because in scope. He has always been a symbol of durability and pure strength. The irony is that he is often placed next to giants like the Hulk or Thor, causing the public to forget that he himself is one of the strongest warriors. When he first appeared, the Thing only possessed enough physical strength to lift about 5 tons, a modest number compared to today's superhero standards. But over time, his stone body continued to adapt and evolve, his strength increasing exponentially until he could lift over 100 tons. This achievement puts Grimm on par with the top icons of strength like Thor, Hulk, and Sentry. However, if ranked within this group, he would usually be ranked in the lower half, because his raw strength is hard to compare to the Hulk's limitless rage, Thor's godlike power from Mjolnir, or Sentry's near-limitless power. However, Ben Grimm, what makes him a hero is that he stands firm in battles that he should not be able to withstand. Even though Hulk can grow stronger with anger, Thor can summon lightning to increase his strength, and Sentry possesses a series of abilities from super speed, super strength to heat vision, Grimm never backs down. In every battle, he braces himself, continuing to rise after each fall, not only because of his strength, but also because of his undying spirit. The Thing possesses enough physical strength to go toe-to-toe with the Silver Surfer, one of the most powerful beings in the universe. And he once pushed back a hydraulic press with a compressive force said to be able to penetrate an entire planet. What's more amazing is that despite being outclassed by many versions of the Hulk, the Thing was able to stun the Savage Hulk with a single punch, enough to slow down the Green Giant's rampage. He was even able to injure Green Scar, a Hulk form with much higher base strength, and once defeated Immortal Hulk, one of the most fearsome incarnations of the Green Goliath. Although often seen as weaker than the Hulk in most situations, the Thing has always been able to stand firm against the Green Giant's angry storms. He has performed the Thunderclap, a move often associated with the Hulk, using the force of a clap to create a massive shockwave. The shockwave was powerful enough to stun Magneto, a testament to the explosive power of his stone body. In several confrontations, Grimm has demonstrated the brutality of his punches. With a single punch, he was able to take down a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and Grimm fought on par with Dr. Doom even when he possessed cosmic energy, a feat few would dare dream of. He has also defeated Sandman in hand-to-hand combat, defeated Miracle Man with skill and strength, and destroyed a zombie version of the Hulk from an alternate universe. Grimm can punch through thick stone walls, smash through giant metal doors, and slam the ground with enough force to send several Inhumans flying at once. He once threw Johnny Storm so far that his teammate Nova's attack became harmless. He overwhelmed the upgraded Crimson Dynamo armor, tearing apart the armor designed to withstand superheroes. The climax was when Grimm smashed Hyperion's punch, causing the man considered Marvel's Superman to suffer serious injuries. Grimm is a warrior who never gives up, clearly demonstrating the heart of gold spirit that he always carries in every battle. I really hope you subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot, and you're the best. Thank you very much. Hank McCoy, known as Beast, was one of the founding members of the original X-Men. He possessed a genius intellect and outstanding scientific talent, and spent most of his life fighting for the ideal of peace between mutants and humans under the guidance of Professor Charles Xavier. From birth, Hank was different with an outstanding physique, strong muscles, and superhuman mobility. It was these characteristics that soon led him to the path of superheroes, and the name Beast was born as a symbol of both fierceness and kindness. The turning point came when Hank researched at Brand Corporation. During the experiment, he developed a serum and used it on himself, leading to a complete transformation. From a strong young man, Hank transformed into a warrior with thick green fur, sharp fangs, and dangerous claws. Although his changing appearance has caused him to face different looks, his intelligence, courage, and wit in his personality have always been present, creating an image that is both familiar and majestic. Beast has affirmed his position in the ranks of superheroes, becoming a veteran Avenger, a staunch defender, and a founding member of the X-Factor team. Upon returning to the Xavier Institute, he continued to be one of the most active X-Men in nurturing the dream of harmony that the Professor always pursued. However, that ideal gradually cracked when Cyclops, his longtime teammate, led the X-Men down the path of extremism. Not accepting that change, Hank was forced to leave the ranks, asserting his independence and keeping his faith in the ideals he had pursued all his life. His strong legs not only serve to move, but are also as flexible as his arms, helping him perform precise and graceful acrobatic movements. With his overwhelming physical strength, he can lift up to 25 tons, a level of strength that is often compared to Spider-Man, although Spider-Man is often considered to have a slight edge in terms of physical strength. However, Hank has never needed to shoulder the role of a heavyweight on the team. In the original lineup, Marvel Girl, later known as Jean Grey, was a pillar with impressive telepathy and matter manipulation abilities. Along with her, Iceman brought the power to control ice, Angel brought the ability to fly and speed, and Professor Xavier, although rarely directly entering the battlefield, was the soul of the group. He guided and led with his intellect, leaving a void that Jean Grey and the rest of the team were ready to fill. It was this harmonious combination that made the early X-Men not just a group of mutants, but a collection of unique talents, where Hank's physical strength, his scientific intelligence, and his team's spirit helped to shape a superhero icon that has lasted for decades. Then, as more mutants appeared, we had Colossus, the 100-ton man of the team, and he took on the role of the team's main puncher. This suited Beast perfectly because he was also a genius, one of the smartest people on Earth, but could not compare to people like Tony Stark, Reed Richards, Bruce Banner, Victor Von Doom, and a few other super geniuses. With his powerful body, he once created a small earthquake just by slapping the ground hard, enough to knock his enemies off balance. In many confrontations, Beast demonstrated his explosive power when defeating Frenzy, an opponent strong enough to collapse even solid structures. Notably, he once knocked Juggernaut to the ground, a feat that few in the superhero world can be proud of. Hank's super strength is the moment he accidentally lifts a barbell weighing over 500 pounds, something that even Captain America would struggle to lift. Hank has claimed that his strength is almost on par with Atuma, the mighty warrior from Atlantis. This claim is not just a matter of confidence, but is also backed up by his direct confrontations with the Juggernaut, an opponent known for his near unstoppable strength. And Beast has proven himself capable of evading Wolverine's attempts to attack as well as launching attacks of his own, and Wolverine, again, as he always does, eventually becomes more annoyed with the situation and indulges in his legendary berserk rage, and this happens. Hank fights the Juggernaut alone, and is losing until he removes his synthetic mask, which frightens the Juggernaut and rapidly ages him due to the mystics binding him to Earth. Hank and Vera travel to Canada, where Vera's dilemma was revealed. Mimic's mutant powers spiraled out of control and drained people of their energy to the point of killing them. Hank attempted to cure Mimic, but was stopped by the Hulk, who was searching for the source of what was draining his powers. The Hulk left after Mimic drained his gamma radiation, seemingly committing suicide. Beast sided with the Avengers in their battle against the X-Men and joined a group of Avengers on a mission to space to confront the Phoenix Force. However, their mission failed, and Phoenix traveled to the moon to take over its host. However, an attack from Iron Man shattered Phoenix into 5 pieces and took over Cyclops, Emma Frost, Magic, Namor, and Colossus as their hosts. Beast is incredibly powerful by today's standards, but in the Marvel Omniverse he is actually below average. He has a very basic mutation, and most mutants without any magical powers are not as powerful as a mutant with magical powers. Beast is the 3rd most powerful after Rogue and Colossus, and probably lower if you include Jean, Rachel, or Magneto. None of them have physical superpowers, but they do have powers that can replicate anything a physical superpower can do. The problem Beast has as a character is that no matter which X-Men team he joins, he is unlikely to be a powerful person. His place is basically taken away. But really, there is a coincidence here. Beast entered the fight with his eyes focused, his entire body moving with the agility of an acrobat. He used his incredible speed and natural agility to dodge each of the Thing's massive punches. Each move was like a gust of wind sweeping across the battlefield, creating a rhythm that contrasted with the terrible weight that Grimm was unleashing. The Thing relied entirely on his famous brute strength. Each punch was enough to shake the ground, cracks spreading across the surface like shockwaves, a reminder that even the slightest mistake could end the fight in an instant. The brute force forced Beast to constantly move, climbing walls, spinning in the air, or somersaulting over broken rocks to escape the range of damage. Beast gradually changed his tactics, no longer just dodging but starting to counterattack with sophisticated attacks. He targeted the Thing's joints and weak points in movement, using his opponent's enormous weight to his advantage. Well-timed spins, somersaults, and blocks allowed Beast to slam Grimm to the ground, using his intelligence and skill to exploit even seemingly invincible muscles. Grimm's patience quickly evaporated as he realized his opponent was not only dodging but actively suppressing the pace. his temper exploded, and the thing unleashed his full power. Each punch landed like a mythical sledgehammer, creating columns of dust and far-reaching shockwaves that shook the entire battlefield. The echoes of his collisions were like thunder, forcing Beast to use his speed and instant analysis to the limit to avoid being crushed. Sometimes Beast overwhelmed with agility. Sometimes the Thing overwhelmed with brute strength. On one side was a brilliant mind, combining tactical intelligence and physical agility. On the other was a durable strength forged through countless battles. Every moment of the clash was as tense as a pounding song, where speed and power alternated, creating a perfect contrast between intelligence and strength. Beast felt more and more the heaviness in each step. His breathing was rapid, his muscles tense from having to maintain constant speed to avoid terrible attacks. Although his sharp intelligence and agility helped him handle many situations, human strength always had its limits. In contrast to the gradual weakening of Beast's body, the Thing remained as steady as an immovable rock, each heavy punch not losing any strength. Every time he swung his fist, the ground shook, not only creating physical pressure, but also overwhelming the opponent's spirit. The decisive moment came when Grimm took advantage of the opportunity, seizing the slightest opening in Beast's slowed movements. A direct punch, gathering all the strength of his body covered in solid rock, rushed forward like a meteor. The impact made the ground crack, dust and rocks flew everywhere, and Beast was thrown to the ground, unconscious and unable to get up. Beast fought with all his might, but in the end, Grimm's unparalleled toughness and endurance were still insurmountable. And the winner? The Thing. I hope you enjoyed this fight. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thanks you very so much.